Hey guys, how is everybody doing? And happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Love is in the air, and I'm in my room masturbating and making videos all by myself, single. Who's the real winner here? But to celebrate Valentine's Day, today I decided to take a look at the 2001 horror slasher Valentine. So, here are my thoughts on this movie, or whatever the hell it wants to call itself. Starting off with my positives on Valentine is I really like the opening of this movie where we're in the morgue with the morgue and with the one girl from Knocked Up. I really enjoyed that whole opening sequence. It really did remind me of Scream because this movie did come out during that golden age of slashers where they were taking inspiration from Scream. Either it was Urban Legend, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Valentine, and so on. This movie definitely you can see the relations to Scream that it was influenced by, and I really enjoyed the opening because this movie opens up with like the sixth grade Valentine's dance, and then we jump ahead 20 years or something later, and we see one of the girls at the dance. She works at a morgue, and she's trying to look at this body, and then the horror cliche, hears weird noise, goes, checks it out, comes back, sees that the body is different, and then it comes to life, thinking it's a zombie, but really it's just the killer. And I really enjoyed that whole opening sequence where we're in the morgue for some reason, because I really like the sequence where where they go into the room where there's a body bag full of bodies. Like there's like maybe like I don't know 8 of them, and he's just going around stabbing each one to see which one she's in, and then he finds her pretty easily, and then just kills her and drains her blood like they do in the morgue. They don't kill you; they drain your blood. Want to clarify. I really enjoyed that sequence. That was a pretty good opening sequence to really hook your attention and hook you onto the movie, which every horror slasher should do. It should have like a really good opening to hook you, and this movie definitely has that. I really enjoyed that whole opening morgue sequence. It was really, I thought the pacing was really done well. I thought the killer was utilized very well to make him like scary, to make him more intimidating than what he actually is throughout the whole movie. So I really enjoyed that whole opening. It's a shame that the girl that they decided to kill off was killed off so early because I really like her actress. I can't remember her name. I remember her from Knocked Up mostly. So it was kind of a shame to see her get killed off because she was really the only actress in this movie that well, actually, there's a few actresses I remember. The actress, and that was the one actress that I actually knew and actually really liked, and it was kind of a bummer to see her get killed off, but kind of like Scream, Drew Barrymore's killed off in the beginning, so I really enjoyed it. And throughout the whole movie, it is pretty obvious who the killer is. It's this kid that these girls basically picked on and bullied and called names on during high school and sixth grade or whatever they said. And it's pretty obvious that he's the killer and he's coming after. God, excuse me. He's coming after them because of revenge, and he's pissed off at what happened. Basically he's butthurt from being bullied, and he wants to kill them. Typical horror slasher. And throughout the whole movie, it's very obvious of who the killer is. But you don't see him. We don't interact with the guy since the beginning of the movie. And I did have that issue with the movie until the very ending because the ending of this movie with the mystery reveal, I felt like it was really well done, and I really enjoyed how they did it. So I guess spoilers for a 25-year-old movie, which don't want to be spoiled, don't watch this, I guess. But the reveal at the end is that we find out that the killer actually had plastic surgery, which is what the detective at the beginning of the movie kind of indicates. Like they're going through the computers, just like, well, it's kind of hard to determine what he looks like because it's been 20 years, and also plus there is also the chance that he also had plastic surgery, so we might not be able to find him. I thought that was a really cool foreshadowing at the beginning of the film, which you never really thought about. And then at the very end, we find out that the killer all along was supposedly Dorothy, but at the same time, it wasn't Dorothy, and it really
That's bait.
was the Jeremy guy, or whatever the fuck his name is. Because we find out, we see that it was really the boyfriend of the main chick of this whole time. You think, oh, maybe he's the killer, but no. And then you think back at the beginning of the movie where the officer gave the idea of plastic surgery, so he got plastic surgery so no one would recognize him. I thought that whole reveal was very well done and very thought out to where it's kind of like sleepaway camp. You know who the killer is, it's very obvious who it is, but then they pull the rug out from under you and they like, oh, you thought you knew who it was? Just kidding. Here's the real reveal. I really enjoyed that. Now, it might seem obvious to others for sure because the boyfriend throughout the movie is pretty suspicious throughout the whole movie. You're like, okay, there's something going on with him. But I really thought it was well done, and it was unique and different to where it's just like, oh, you know who the killer is, but at the same time, you don't. I really thought that was really cool. But now moving on to my mixed aspects, and I guess this is kind of like, I don't know, I guess this kind of harms me more than anybody watching the movie, but I don't get why all of the guys in this movie are either fucking weirdos, perverts, or assholes, which I don't know if this movie was made by a woman. I genuinely don't know. I don't know, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I genuinely don't know if this movie was made by a woman or not. But this movie, throughout the whole movie, the guy is either a pervert, or he's a dick, or he's an asshole. What's the difference between dick and asshole, I guess. But it's so, but to me it's just weird. Like, I get like they're trying to spread like this message of like, oh, all guys are the same, all these guys are but it's like, oh, come on, we're not all that bad. I'm not. So what? I've been dumped twice. It doesn't mean anything. And my other mixed aspect of this movie is the characters. I never really thought they were great characters by any means. I didn't really think they were overly interesting. I didn't really care if they lived or died. There are some characters where they're just flat out bitchy to where I'm like, yeah, I kind of want them to die. And some of them are pretty forgettable because some of them don't even make sense. Because the character of Dorothy, there's like a moment to where the officer's asking, he's like, oh, I got a letter from this guy because he came on to me in the sixth grade, basically assaulting me or whatever. When really, if you watch the movie, you find out, I was like, oh, that's not true. She just said that because she was embarrassed that she was making out with him under the bleachers, which I don't really understand why she's so ashamed of that 20 years later. Like, that shit happened in sixth grade. Why are you still ashamed of that? That happened 20 years ago. Like, you think you would moved on from that? Shit, dude, I don't even remember what I did in sixth grade. I don't remember anything that happened in sixth grade. Like, I can't be ashamed of it. I'm a fucking sophomore. I don't remember what I did 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, yeah, no, I don't know. I don't want to do math right now. 3 years ago was seventh grade, but anywho, that to me, I'm like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And some of them are just like kind of plain forgettable, and they're just kind of standing around. Like one of them would die, and I'd be like, oh, who was that again? And then there's like this one chick that's like this seductive kind of bitchy like character where she's like kind of giving you hints like, oh, I want to have sex with you, and then she's like, oh, what are you doing? Don't touch me. And I only recognized her from Two and a Half Men. I forget her name, but well, what was her name? I can't remember any of their fucking names. I guess that kind of tells you about about the characters of this movie. But one of them's from Two and a Half Men, and that's the only reason I recognized her. So yeah, the characters are pretty forgettable, and also just not very likable. And unfortunately, one of my mixed aspects was the kills as well. For being a slasher movie, you think they would be the biggest positive, but not really. But now, I'm not saying like the kills were bad or all of them were off screen or not creative or anything. I do like the kills for their creativity. Like there's one of them where this one girl gets shot with a bunch of bow and arrows. I think she like a bunch of arrows or whatever. Like I think she gets shot by like three or four of them, which is a pretty unique kill and also kind of like, oh, Valentine's Day, Cupid and the love arrows and all that. And then there's like some where I there's like one of them where this guy got beat to death with a hot iron or whatever. Like the kills in this movie are creative. However, they're not overly violent, and sometimes when they do happen, they kind of happen off screen. Like there with the hot iron guy, he gets hit in the face like once, and then you don't really see what happens to him later because you just see the guy swinging the hot iron on him and you don't really get to see the aftermath on it. Well, I don't know. Maybe the little gore whore in me is a little upset about that because I love gore in horror movies. So I feel like that has to do with maybe the fact that because my gore hound inside of me really wanted to see that. But they're creative for sure, but the violence just isn't there. And sometimes they just happen off screen. Like literally, the nanny gets killed off screen. Like she gets dragged out of a closet. I'm like, when the fuck did she die? And moving on to my negatives, and really I only have one, and if anything, it's a nitpick. For this movie, it's supposed to be a Valentine's Day slasher. It never really felt like it was a Valentine's Day movie. I never really felt like, oh, I'm watching Valentine's Day. Like, there were moments like there was speed dating, and especially at the end of the movie where there was like a big Valentine's Day party, or when they were exchanging gifts or whatever. And some of the kills kind of said Valentine's Day, especially the one with the bow and arrow. But other than that, I never really felt like it was a Valentine's Day film. Like, I literally would forget that I was watching a Valentine's Day movie. Like, sure, it follows around a bunch of girls with boy problems, which I guess says Valentine's Day. I don't know what goes on with a woman's life on Valentine's Day. Probably will never know because I keep getting dumped. But however, I just really felt like I was like, oh, this is a Valentine's Day movie. You're right. Like, there were moments where it kind of felt like that, but at some moments I was just like, oh, I legitimately forgot I'm watching a Valentine's Day movie. And especially with the kills, with only one of them being a Valentine's Day like themed kill, and the rest of them just being generic, like stabby stabby, it just didn't feel like that. Overall, guys, I didn't mind this movie. It was an okay film. It was a movie that, do I see myself rewatching yearly? Absolutely not. I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. I just do this shit for fun. But yeah, Valentine was a weird movie. I don't really recommend it to a lot of people, but if you are looking for a fun slasher movie to watch on Valentine's Day with your date, or maybe if you're like me and single and masturbating in your room, then maybe it's a movie for you. But I wouldn't recommend this to anybody else unless you're a slasher fan. So overall, it was an okay film. So what do you guys think about Valentine? Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Do you like this movie? Do you not like this movie? Is this a movie that you actually watch yearly on Valentine's Day? Let me know in the comments below and we shall talk about it. And if you like this video, like it. If you love to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will get notified for all of my latest videos. And of course, until my next video, I'll see you all next time and happy Valentine's Day.